Teaching him to be desensitized to the stick, to not be afraid of the stick. Remember, desensitizing is a relax. He's smart, he's super intelligent. Retreat, lay the string on. Crave, standing still. So don't ever underestimate the power of your horse's desire. The reason I changed my approach is because on him, wave the flag. So basically I have two waves with the flag. It's just up. And rubbing him with it. Up here. Up here. That's a little better. And I waved it 2 times that time. I'm going to change sides. Now, because he's trotting and he's kind of, see, if he'll stay at a walk right here, I'm going to let him stay at a walk. Because he's being a little reactive, I want him to keep walking. But if he'll slow down to a walk, that's even better for right now. Because he's reactive. So I'm going to do this. So now my goal is to keep him at a walk even when I wave my stick. Zuko, you're so cute. Tap, tap, good. I'm going to yield. So I'm going to use a strategy called change directions to slow him down. So if he starts to speed up, I'm going to yield his hindquarters and change directions. So I'm working on lead beside at a walk. I'm teaching him to be desensitized to the stick, to not be afraid of the stick. Remember, desensitizing is a relaxation exercise. Teaching him to relax to something that otherwise will scare him naturally. So if he starts to trot, I'm going to change directions and go the other way. Good, he's licking and chewing. So with him, I'm trying to slow him down. Just slow his, when his body slows down, his mind slows down. Teach him that this isn't going to hurt him. He's smart, he's super intelligent, so he's pretty certain that this is going to hurt him because all his evolutionary biology tells him that it is going to hurt him. But I'm teaching him to change his mindset and that it's not going to hurt him. That's what desensitizing is all about. Teaching a horse to relax to things that otherwise would scare them. It's not about teaching them to be dull to something. It's about teaching them to relax to things. Because you still want them to be able to move when you ask them to move, but just not to be afraid of things. Now you see how my wave is getting bigger and longer, a little faster. Might do this. Cowboy lasso. He just about lost his composure, so I retreated, rubbed him on the back. What I'm doing is teaching him to read my body language. So my body language, besides swinging the stick in the air, is calm and relaxed. And that means he should stay calm and relaxed no matter what I'm doing with this stick. He's speed up. I'm going to yield the hindquarters. Go the other way. And his transitions, when he goes from one side to the other, are a little poor right now, so we'll work on that. I'm going to draw him into me and then send him the same way. So this is another way to change, to slow him down. So one way to slow him down is to change directions completely. Another way is to draw him in towards me until he slows down and then send him the same way. So I'm going to use both of those strategies here. Retreat, rub on him. The flag is where it's going to get really fun. But I'm going to do this with the stick first. Get him used to something that's not making crazy noise, but it is moving up above him. Send him. Now you notice I have to use the stick as a sensitizing tool sometimes with him. So I'm actually tapping him with the stick. Well, somebody might ask, well, how is he going to relax to it if you're tapping him with it? It's because of my sequence of cues of what I'm asking him to do. Here I'm asking him to go forward. If he's not listening, I'm going to tap lightly and then tap a little bit harder. When he starts trying to find the answer, I release that pressure. When he starts trying to find the answer, I maintain the pressure, and when he finds it, I release the pressure. Draw him in. So you can use this draw in technique. I'm going to do it a lot with the flag in a little bit here. But by getting him to follow me, and I might even double this lead rope so he doesn't step on it. By getting him to follow me while I'm waving this flag, it's going to give him a whole bunch, I'm waving the stick, it's going to give him a whole bunch of confidence. You see him licking and chewing, lowering his head a little here? He's like, oh, this isn't going to hurt me. So I'm curious if he was a breakaway roping horse, you know, maybe if you're in the saddle, maybe he's not bothered by the rope swinging over his head. But it would be interesting to test it out. Draw him in towards me. Send him on. I'm telling him it's okay to walk and just relax. He's probably had a lot of speed when he's under saddle. There's probably been with him, I bet there's been very little focus on getting him to just lope on a loose rein, just relaxed, right? He's probably on the muscle, on the bit, and he's probably running hard when they're on him, working with him. I could be wrong. I'm making a lot of assumptions, but seems to me like he's been taught to go hard and go fast, and if he doesn't, he's going to get in trouble. So now we're just going to teach him, yeah, we're going to go hard and fast, but not right now. We're going to teach you only go hard and fast when I ask you to. Otherwise, you can relax. And when he gets to relax, then that makes riding a lot more enjoyable for him. He becomes less of an anxious horse. So when I'm training horses, I might do this for 30 minutes straight. I've had a horse, I did it for an hour straight. Just keep working with them until I start to see a huge change in their behavior. Less reactive, more responsive. Less reactive, more responsive. So right now he's being the two. He's being responsive because he's doing lead beside correctly. He's walking around me. He's walking with me in a circle. And he's not being reactive. I'm waving that stick and he's relaxed, relatively. He could use some more relaxation, but he's getting better. As he starts to improve with this, then I want to start asking him for more speed. But it's always easier for a horse to keep his mind in control the slower he goes. I should say most of the time, the slower they go, the easier it is to keep their mind in control. Faster they go, the more their sympathetic nervous system kicks in, that fight or flight response. It's So it's harder for them to stay under control and feel relaxed when they're running full speed, right? That's why the reined cow horse world is so intriguing to me, because they have these amazing horses that have so much power and so much speed that will go full out and a second later stop and be completely relaxed. That's really, to me, the ultimate of horsemanship is, can I get my horse up as high as they can go as far as their speed, their energy, and then in 1 second they can be totally relaxed, their heart rate comes down, everything is relaxed. That's what I see as the greatest horsemanship out there. Because it's the hardest to achieve. Hardest thing to achieve is get a horse to go really hard and then get him to relax immediately. Now I'm going to purposely ask him to trot. And we'll start doing this at a trot. Like these licking and chewing as we're trotting. A horse like him, like Zuko, is going to really test your ability to feel a horse. Feel and timing is what they say makes a great horseman. What does that mean? Feel means, do you understand your horse? Do you understand what are they doing? What are they doing without what you're asking them to do? What are they doing when you're asking them to do something? What are you feeling? How are they responding to you? Are they reacting? And then your timing, releasing that pressure at the right time. With him, so he'll test your horsemanship skills for sure. Because if you don't release it correctly, or if you get too firm with him, or if you get too wild with your stick or something, then he's going to blow up. Now, if he does, I just draw him back into me and we keep going. No worries. Whoa. Good. Okay, I like what I see so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stick and string and I'm going to desensitize to rest. So I lunged him, yielded the hindquarters, changed directions. That was the first exercise. Now I have a lot of other exercises that I do with the horses, but I've got a kind of a triage right now with Zuko to find out how to help him as quickly as possible in this next hour or so. So I lunged him, yielded the hindquarters to change directions. Now I did lead beside and worked on desensitizing with the stick during lead beside. Make sure he could walk and trot during lead beside and be desensitized to the stick. Now I'm going to use the stick and string and I'm going to desensitize to rest. So I'm just going to double up this lead rope, and although the purpose is to get my horse to stand still and relax while I'm desensitizing around him with the stick and string, I'm going to start out by having him follow me to desensitize, because I want to see how is he reactive to this. And actually he's looking pretty good, so I'm going to turn towards him. Has Sarah worked on this with him? Okay. So he's had some desensitizing to rest, so I don't have to, he's pretty relaxed to that. So I'm just going to start at my shoulder position. I'm laying the string on to begin with, positioning myself over here at the shoulder position. And he needs lots of this, lots of laying that string on, that stick approaching him when I'm not asking him to move, and getting him to relax to it. And you see he's sensitive to the stick around his hind end, or above his hocks. As soon as he relaxed a little, I go back to somewhere else. I retreat to the top. It's easier for him on the top. Then I'm going to go to that difficult area. Little sensitive back there, but not bad. So I haven't even started swinging yet. Now I'm going to swing the windmill swing. Retreat, lay the string on. Go back to the windmill swing. Retreat, lay the string on. So because he's sensitive to laying that string on, he kind of flinchy to it. I'm going to do that more than he's actually, it's harder for him for me to lay the string on than it is for me to swing the string away from him. So I'm going to work on that. Now over the top and down, we call this the bullwhip swing. Good boy. And now I'm going to do the figure 8. Good boy. Did you see the first time this was done with him? The desensitizing? Was he real reactive to it? Yeah. So Sarah's taken some of the wind out of my sails by working on him with this. That's awesome. Twice a day working on this? Cool. So he's got this down pretty decently. So when he's moving, that's where he's really like, oh, something's going to happen. Remember, movement, the faster he goes, the harder it's going to be for him to relax. So as he's going faster, that stick swinging above him, he's like, oh, something bad's going to happen. But every time after I've worked with him and moved his feet and got a lot of sensitizing done with him, then I'm going to let him stand and relax and desensitize to rest. And I'm only going to get to his rib cage. See how he moved his hips away? So he can't quite handle me being past his rib cage, or this side position, what I call the side position. Do the figure 8. Eventually I want him ground tied and I can do this all the way around him. I won't get him to that spot today, or at least I won't. Maybe you have. Have you been able to go all the way around him? Yeah, he wants to face you. But basically, he's nervous about you getting back here by his butt. So just keep gradually working back here where he can tolerate it. If he's relaxed here, which he's doing okay, I'm going to get to a spot where I feel like he can't handle any further. And then I'm going to change sides. So I'm going to take my stick under the rope, lay the string on as I'm walking around. And like you said, he's more sensitive on his right side, and he's showing that right here. He doesn't even want me to get over here on his right shoulder. He's trying to keep me in his left eye. So I'm just going to keep laying that string on until I can get on his right shoulder, and he stands still. Do my windmill. Now I just swung one time there because I could see how nervous that made him. And if I can stop, what I call quitting him before he quits me, if I can stop swinging my string before he starts to move, then he's going to gain some confidence that, hey, that even though he's feeling nervous, that swing, that string spanking the ground is going to go away. So I'm building his confidence here by swinging once, now twice. Good. See how he raised his head and got nervous there? Then I retreat and go back to it. Now, if he were to walk off or quit me, then I'm just going to draw him into me and start over. And it happens all the time. They'll quit me, but I try to quit them before they quit me. And if I can build that confidence and really advance a lot quicker. Right there, he started flinching and wanting to move his feet. I'm also letting him know that I'm paying attention to how he feels. This is the whole Warwick-Schiller attunement stuff. Like if you got to be attuned to your horse. No, it's that feel. It's really the feel and the timing. So the feel is, am I looking at my horse and recognizing what he's doing? So if I'm doing this, is he relaxed? He's relaxed. He's relaxed. So that was 4 times I swung that string, the stick and string, and he relaxed the whole time. So that's a great change right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. So now I'm going to go back and try my bull whip one time and retreat. Sometimes the bull whip is challenging for horses because I'm swinging over their head. Good boy. Notice how I'm not changing positions. I'm staying at that shoulder position. I want to wait until he's nice and comfortable with me at the shoulder before I move to the side or close to the side. Oh, I love that, licking and chewing. Now, I'm not going to go from the shoulder position all the way to the side. I'm going to go maybe halfway. So I'm going to go about right here, about there, and start again. Good boy. I approach the side a little bit more. Do my figure 8. Approach the side a little bit more. Now I'm at his side position. Right there, lost me, or I lost him. So there is an example of he quit me before I quit him. I pushed it a little too hard and went too far to his side. He didn't like that, started to move his feet. So I'm laying the string on until he stops moving his feet and I can approach that shoulder again. Then I'm going to start over. But usually I can get it a little quicker. I'm going to stop right there. That's halfway between his shoulder position and his side position. He's okay with me there. Go with him. Keep repositioning myself. I'm laying that string on until he stops moving. Good job. Start again. Right there. So he quit me again. Lay the string on, follow him. Start again. I had a Mustang one time that took me over a month to get to where I could get behind her and do this behind her. Now I worked on everything else. I was almost riding her in that month, but I waited until I could ground tie her and go all the way around her before I started riding her. But some horses that's the most extreme. Some take a few minutes, some take a few days, and some take a month or so. The most extreme. Now right here I'm going to change my approach a little bit because he's really trying to put me on his left side. So I'm actually going to lunge him some, put his feet to work, and make standing still seem nice to him. Seem like that. I'm going to help him crave standing still. So don't ever underestimate the power of your horse's desire for oxygen and for rest. If I can get him a little bit tired, that's going to help out initially when he's being real sensitive on that right side. The reason I changed my approach is because he started habitually moving me to his left eye. So it's easier for him to just move me to his left eye than for me to stand on his right side and use the stick and string to desensitize. Whoa. And all the while I get to refine. Anytime I have to move my horse's feet, I'm refining their groundwork. I'm refining their skills on the ground. So this isn't in vain to do this. There's a purpose, not only the purpose of getting him to crave standing still, but also getting him better at lunging, getting him better at yielding and going the other direction. Whoa. He's walking through that. Bump, bump. Bump, bump, bump. Oh. Oh. Now when I stop him, I'm going to go back to his good side and reinforce his confidence by starting on his good side. Over time, I want to put more time into the bad side than the good side. I want to double my time on the bad side compared to the good side until they even out. But initially, to give him confidence, I'm going to work on his good side first. Because there is, despite what you might hear, there's a lot of carryover that can happen, especially with these horses that are really, really intelligent. So he's not being too good about his yield and stopping, so I'm going to keep working on that. Work on the horse you have today or in this moment. Oh, that was much better. If he gets this one good, we'll stop. Oh. Reach out, and I'm actually going to tap him on the hip. So again, this is a sensitizing tool that I want him to relax to when I'm not asking him to move, but I'm going to use it to move his feet while I'm asking him to move his feet. So he doesn't want to yield his hindquarters to his right when he's going left. He wants to keep drifting. Yield. Oh. See, that's really good, that side. Yield. I'm good with that right there. Good job. Now I'll go back to desensitizing to rest. Now I use this string to tap him on the butt to get him to yield his hindquarters a couple times. So now I'm going to let him stand and relax. Start to lay the string on. It's just so important that you change from sensitizing to desensitizing often. Because if I just use this stick and string to get him to move, then he's going to be really reactive to that. So I want to use my correct sequence of cues. I want to point, then cluck, then swing my stick and string, then tap him with it if I need to. Then when I'm standing, I want him to stand still and stand relaxed. My body language isn't telling him to do anything. He just should stand there. I've got my left leg cocked a little bit. Just trying to relax as much as I can and still swing that stick and string. Sensitive on his legs, above that hock. See how he let me on his right side right away? When just before I started lunging again, he kept trying to get me on his left side, put me on his left eye. He's kind of breathing heavily. I can't enforce the idea enough to desensitize to rest. It's so important. With his sensitivity to the stick and string, I would say probably in 2 to 3 sessions I could get him to where he's ground tied and I could stand behind him and do this all the way around him. Because once he figures it out, he's got it. You see, now I'm at his side position. I'm almost there. I'm like 1 step off from his side. Right there. I should have quit him 1 earlier. You're doing a good job, buddy. Do a lot of one-time swings and then retreat, lay that string on. 1 time, maybe twice. Retreat, lay that string on. Good boy. Now I like to go to both sides at least twice before I move on. Start at his shoulder position. This works with all horses. This works from ponies, miniatures, ponies, all the way to draft horses and everything in between. I do this with all my horses and my mules. I'm training a mule right now and I do it with her. I've trained multiple mules. I've trained just about every breed of horse there is out there. And I do the same thing with all of them. They should all be ground tied and be able to desensitize to rest all the way around them with a stick and string, with a flag and a plastic sheet. That's my standard. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I started approaching his hindquarter position. Maybe I can get about halfway between his hindquarter position and his side position, but I'm not going to go any further than this today. But as I build his confidence, he starts letting me get further and further back there. I'm going to go ahead and change sides. You notice I have that lead rope just nice and relaxed. I don't want to try to force him to stay in this position. If he walks off, I'm just going to draw him into me. But I want him to feel like there's no pressure on his head. Start at his shoulder position again. Build his confidence back up. And see how I'm able to move from his shoulder to his side position more easily now. But I always start back from the beginning if they lose their composure and quit me. That's beautiful. I'm gonna call it good with the stick and string desensitizing to rest right now. Good boy. Now I'm gonna just give him a chance to ground tie. Drop that lead rope. If he walks over and follows me, that's fine. I want to keep an eye on him because he might get reactive to that lead rope. If he started to walk away and it started to drag on his legs, he might bolt. So I want to be able to get out of the round pin if he's going to bolt with that. So keep my eye on him. Now watch how I approach him with this flag. So I don't know how he's going to react. Now if he were to run off from me right now, I might put the flag down and go catch him and then start again. But I'm going to approach him with the flag, but I'm going to put that flag behind me like this. I'm not trying to hide the flag, but I'm putting it in a less aggressive position. So if I were to approach him like this, that's going to scare him. But if I approach him like this, it's safer for me, easier for him. Good boy. Okay, I'm going to do exactly what I did with the stick and string. I'm going to walk away from him. So I'm going to use the follow-it principle. If he doesn't seem too reactive to it, I'm going to face him. Doesn't seem too reactive to it. Now, is Sarah working with a flag with him too? Yeah. 2 days with. So he's had some work with the flag and it shows. He's definitely pretty confident with that flag. So now I'm going to do desensitize to rest with the flag. Rub on him. I'm going to get over here at his shoulder position, rub on him, wave the flag. So basically I have 2 waves with the flag. It's just up and down. Well, 3 waves, up and down, then up and down each side like this. And then I go a windshield wiper. And the 4th one you can do helicopter. But I usually save that towards, after I get good with this all the way around him, ground tied, then I'll do like a helicopter swing. He's better with the flag than he is the stick and string. I thought it would be the opposite. The string, yeah, the string on his legs, he's flinchy. But could you see a change in how reactive he was to that stick and string over, well, it'd take us about 10 minutes or so. I say that and somebody's like, no, it's been 30 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun.